Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And we are back with today's look ahead for the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest game, which is, of course, tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We will be doing a watch along for the game, though. However, so stream start at 2:30, kickoff at 3 o'clock. Obviously, alongside the Manchester United Forest game, we will be covering the other Premier League games live at the time. So that's Arsenal Forest. What other games? Everton, Brentford, I want to say. And maybe Fulham, someone. Fulham Palace, I want to say. Arsenal, Fulham, Brentford, Palace, Everton, Wolves. So we will be covering those games as well, obviously, while mainly focusing on the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest game. So like I said, that the stream will start at 2:30, kickoff at 3 o'clock, so please do tune for that. There is a link to that in the description down below if you want to go over there now. Turn the notifications on, so when that goes live, you'll be notified. As well as that, if you want to be notified whenever I go live or upload a video, please do make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. Now, going into this game, Manchester United come into it off of the back of a disappointing 2-0 defeat to Tottenham in our second game of the season. Pape Sarr scoring the opener off of a deflected cross. It obviously deflected off Lisandro Martinez. It was a very simple tap-in for Pape Sarr. And then Martinez's own goal, trying to clear it from Ben Davies' nicked shot, I want to say. And Martinez just stumbles it into the net. Both goals, really, Manchester United could do better. And that's something I have said quite a lot since the game and kind of reflect on it. You look at the game Manchester United played. First 35 minutes, we dominated the proceedings. Should have had 2 penalties for me. Palestri and the Romero handball, for me, both penalties. But even forgetting about those, the chances we created, Anthony's chance, Bruno's chance, Rashford had a good chance. We created some top quality chances in this game. And we didn't take them. And I think Spurs didn't create that high quality of chance. You look at both their goals, they come from realistically Lisandro Martinez mistakes. Or, I don't want to say, maybe not errors, but the own goal and a massive deflection which just takes it away from United's defence. That's just a bit unlucky. So that's how I'm trying to look at that game, I suppose. When it comes to the Premier League table and how that sees both teams, Nottingham Forest are currently above us in the table, 10th to 12th. Both on 3 points, though. There's a goal in it. Again, as I've said in the last 2 previews, the table means absolutely nothing at this point. It means absolutely nothing. So, it's not nice to be below Nottingham Forest, but it literally does not mean a thing. Now, last season, obviously, we played Palace a couple times. Sorry, not Palace. Forest a couple times. In the first game against them, we beat them 3-0. Rashford, Martial and Fred all scoring. In the second game at the Forest Stadium, we beat them 2-0 with Anthony and Diego Dallo playing as a left-back and scoring in that game. Now, interestingly, as we'll get on to, Diego Dallo looks like he will be playing left-back again. Now, we'll comment a little bit on that later. It looks like he will be playing as a left-back. I'll say that now. When it comes to Forest, as I said, they are sat in 10th in the table. That's not right. They lost their first game and then won their second. So that's wrong. Brilliant. Love that for me. So yeah, they lost their first game to Arsenal, 2-1. They then won their second game against Luton. Not Luton. Who was it against? Who did Forest beat last week? Against Sheffield United, that's who it was. That again was 2-1. So showing a goal threat Nottingham Forest, especially with, I mean, you look at the key players that I put down from Iwoni, Johnson and Gibbs White. For me, they're best three players, and the players that I look at and think they bring a goal threat for Forest, especially Taiwo Awoni. I really like Awoni. I think if Brentford are to sell Tony, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brentford go in for Awoni, to be honest. I really do like him. But for me, those three are the best players in this Forest team, and they're kind of the players we're going to be looking to stop. Awoni's a very physical striker, good in link-up play. He's a lethal finisher as well, and he's not slow at all. So I really like Awoni. Johnson will play off the wing, as will Gibbs White, really, as Sterling's in here for Chelsea. Well defended by Luton in the end. Gibbs White and Johnson will probably play just off of Awoni. And they bring goal threat. They're both very quick, especially Johnson. Great dribblers. And they're deadly in the box. Really, really good players, Awoni and Johnson. Gibbs White, a little bit more physical, a little bit more creative, I would say. But again, both certainly bring goal threats. And this is how I imagine we will see Nottingham Forest line up in this game. So Turner will probably start in goal. Willy Bolly, Worrell and McKenna will be the back three. Sergio Aurier will almost certainly start. They've just signed Montiel from Sevilla. However, he signed, yesterday. I don't think he's going to be thrown in straight away. So I think it will be Aurier on the right with Nico Williams off of the left, obviously formerly of Liverpool. Mangala and Danilo as the midfield double pivot. With, again, Johnson on the right, Morgan Gibbs White on the left, and Taiwo Awoni up top. For United, team news-wise, this is kind of what I was referring to. Has the ref given some in? Hold on. He's given a handball, free kick. Luke Shaw is out with a muscle injury, so that's why we will see Diogo Dalot start at left back. I'm certain of it. As you can see there, there will be no Luke Shaw and no Tyrell Malacia. So that kind of only leaves Diogo Dalot to play there. Unless we move Lissandro Martinez to left back. Which I don't see happening. I think it will be Diogo Dalot at left back because of Shaw and Malacia's injury. Shaw picking that up in training. It's an unfortunate muscle injury. Not much we can do about it though. We have to kind of move on from it. Obviously, Ahmad's out with an injury. Kobe Mainu still got that injury that saw him miss the first two games of the season. He picked up, obviously, in that Real Madrid friendly as Raheem Sterling just rattles one at the Luton goal. It's a great save and hold from the keeper. And Højlund, he has been ruled out of this game. He's in training, but Erik ten Hag has said in his presser that Højlund won't be used in this game. We're just kind of waiting for him to be 100%, and he's not quite that yet. So Højlund won't make the bench, as per Ten Hag. Whether or not that changes come tomorrow, I doubt. So Højlund's still out, and Mason Mount, he's got a groin injury, and he will miss the last two games before the international break. So he misses Forest and Arsenal, which is a shame. Now, when it comes to the team that I think Erik ten Hag will go with today, I think he will go with this. So in goal, Andre Onana, not in doubt. The back four kind of picks itself at this point. I think the hard choice in the back four really would be, on an ordinary week, would be right back. Would it be Dalot or would it be Wan-Bissaka? And that's about it. And with Luke Shaw out, and same with Malacia, I think you're going to have to see Dalot go left back, which means Wan-Bissaka is the obvious choice. So the back four, again, like I say, picks itself really, as well as obviously the goalkeeper. Midfield double pivot. Again, I think it somewhat picks itself. Moises Caicedo's just fallen over. It's not looking good for him, is it? As Tahith Chong's in. Ooh, unlucky Teeth. I have a soft spot for Teeth Chong. I don't know what Moises Caicedo's doing here, though. Why he's playing on the left as well, I'm not sure. Caicedo's always playing on the right, has he not, for Brighton? Not that it should matter too much. But yeah, so our midfield two, Casemiro and Eriksen, somewhat picks itself. Mason Mount out with an injury. It kind of only leaves Casemiro and either Eriksen or McTominay. I will be shocked if it's McTominay. Van der Beek hasn't been in squad, so why would it be him? So Eriksen, and plus, I mean, Eriksen and Casemiro was the midfield two most of last season when they were fit, so I don't see why that wouldn't be the case in this game. And then that front four, Bruno Fernandes will almost certainly start at 10 for me, and then it's the wing spots in the number 9 that there's question marks about. I think he will go with Anthony on the right, Jadon Sancho on the left, and Marcus Rashford up top. Now, if I was to play this free, I would play Jadon Sancho as that false 9 and Rashford on the left. However, Ten Hag has shown many a time he likes Rashford up top. I don't see how you can like it. I think it limits us so much as a team. But clearly, Ten Hag likes it. And with Martial never being able to stay fit, I don't know if Ten Hag will go with it. So I think he will go with this team. Personally, I haven't got many changes. However, I would drop Anthony. I don't think he's had a great start to the season. So personally, I would like to see Anthony Martial play and come in for him. I would personally also drop Alejandro Garnacho and move Marcus Rashford back out to the left. And Jadon Sancho obviously takes his spot through the middle. So Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Martial through the middle. Sterling's in the box here. Just get the shot away, lad. Just get the shot away. And for me, look, if Manchester United are going to try and play the way Ten Hag wants to play, you've got to have an Anthony Martial up top. Simply, Rashford cannot hold the ball up. He can't. The ball, if you hit Martial, he can hold a defender and bring other players into play. Rashford can't do that. And that's why, for me, the first 2 games of the season have been as poor as they have been, because you get the ball here. If I change this to Eriksen, I'll make this Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, Man United, in possession, we become this. And then these will either invert or one will invert. And you have a back 3. That doesn't really work effectively when, if I go get the ball, when as soon as you make this ball, well, actually, often it's this, isn't it? With Martinez pushing him. But when you go to hit Rashford and it bounces off him, they win the ball straight away. This team, Martinez obviously has to drop back in. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka will come out. But you've still got this gap left where Eriksen should drop into. But because Eriksen has just busted a gut to get into this front line, he's then knackered, or whether that's Mount or whoever. So the defence is fine. Or kind of resets. But then we need Eriksen to get back. But because he's knackered, he can't. So that ends up leaving Casemiro often left on his own. But if you have Martial who can hold it and bring other players into play, we can get into this shape. And he can knock it off into Eriksen and we can play. And then should we lose it, because we've got a bit of possession, he's obviously regained his energy. So when we have to drop back in, he can bust a get back in there and we're all right. So for me, Martial has to play. And if it's not Martial, I think Jadon Sancho is a better player at doing the hold-up play than Marcus Rashford is. So for me, Rashford will then go up top if it's not Martial and it's not Højlund. Simply, Rashford cannot play up top in games where we're looking to dominate the ball. Because he can't, fundamentally, he cannot hold the ball up like you need to be able to play that way. Now, I think it's fair to say we're gonna have to win this game. It's a must win. After a really disappointing result against Spurs, missed chances. We need to be putting the ball in the back of the net, and we need to be winning this game against Nottingham Forest. The expectations for this year is Champions League football, and for me, not necessarily to be in the title race, but to kind of be pushing the title race until at least March. If we fall off there, fair enough, but I expect to be there or thereabouts come March. Again, maybe not leading it, but kind of in contention, you could say. And if that's going to be the case, a win against Forest is massively important. And look, I mean, obviously the Spurs game is disappointing. However, we don't actually really know how good this Spurs team will be. Under Ange, they could be what people thought they would be under Antonio Conte. So, while we're disappointed with the defeat against Spurs, we have to kind of ignore that until we see how good this Spurs team really is going to be under Ange Postecoglou. When it comes to my predictions for this game, I am going to go for a 2-0 Manchester United win. I'm fairly confident. And I think Anthony Martial, if he starts, will score. I don't know. That's just me. If you have enjoyed though, please do hit that like button below. Subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. Share the channel, share everything. It is greatly appreciated. I'll let you guys get on to watching the Chelsea Luton game, which is on right now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit.